All right, I'm just going to get started. So unfortunately, my guest speaker, Allie, had to cancel last minute. She kind of forgot about the call, and she's home with her 4 boys who are going insanely crazy while she tries to put them to bed. Her husband's not home, so I see somebody drinking wine. Sorry. So she can't make the call. So I really don't have anything planned, but I just want to go over a couple of things. Want to make sure everybody knows that 21 Day Fix and Extreme are still on sale this month. Also the Kickstart with the Refresh Challenge Pack as well. What else? The 60 Days to Diamond group. I want to make sure you all are aware of that for anyone who, is ready to push themselves to Diamond. That starts, I'm not even quite sure when that starts, but that'll be a 60-day group that will have a lot of helpful information in it. What else am I missing, Rachel? Take yourself off mute and help me here.
Yeah, okay.
I have nothing planned, so I was just kind of going to be a winging it situation here, so you guys can take yourselves off mute if you want. We can just all have a big conversation.
No, I think that's kind of it for the month. It's just
Right?
the 5-day Shakeology groups.
Yeah.
The healthy eating group is going to be.
That's the 13th, right?
Nope, the 20th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the 20th. Lisa, how is that menu coming along?
It's good. I didn't have a chance to work on it today,
Okay.
but I do have Rachel's feedback, so I do need to just add a few side dishes to each of them dinners.
Okay, perfect. You have plenty of time, so.
Yeah, I should be able to repost it hopefully tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the lead on that. Appreciate it.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
I do want to talk a little bit about recruiting really quick. I know I'm totally flying all over the place here. Recruiting. So we have an intro to coaching group starting on Monday. Has anybody recruited anybody for this? Have you guys posted about it? Messaged anybody for this? It's super important. And, if you want to grow your business and get to the point of, where the top coaches are, the only way you're going to do that is by growing your team. Sales and hitting, aren't going to, sales are good for commission and whatnot, but that's not going to be what gets you to the top, basically. You want to grow your team and, build up your volume. That's how you're going to be able to cycle, the good money that the top coaches in this business make. So has anybody recruited for that yet?
I have. Alexa.
Alexa, okay.
I have one girl.
Well, that's awesome. And you just
I added her in today. Yeah. Oh,
perfect. That's awesome. So yeah, if you haven't posted about that yet, or messaged anybody that you've talked to in the past about it, definitely get on that. The group starts on Monday and it's only 3 days. So I think it's a good way to get people to see what this is all about and the potential that they can, potential money that they can. What was that?
I'm sorry, can I ask a quick question about?
Yeah.
This is Jen.
Hi.
Okay, so I have 3 coaches I'm signing on.
Yeah.
I guess I am just very confused on where I should place them.
You're cutting out.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. I missed everything you just said, though.
So I have 3 people signing up, and I have no clue what side. So
you're not sure which leg to put them on? Hold on, stop. You're still. Are you driving right now? Where are you? Yeah. You're frozen. All right, so I think you were asking, you have 3 coaches signing up, and you're unsure of which leg to put them on, is what I'm getting at? What I'm getting?
I think that's what she means. Jennifer, I can help you with that because I can see your downline placement, and Jenny, I don't think she can. And I have a feeling that I
can see where she puts.
Okay. You're going to want to put them on your weak side so that you'll increase your volume, because your right side is your strongest, your left side is your weak. So you're going to want to go and put them on your left side so that you'll cycle more.
But you also want to keep in mind, are any of these coaches going to be working coaches?
They're all working coaches.
Okay, so you don't want to put them all on the same side because, if they have the potential of getting to diamond, and you want to rank advance, you want to think about that as well. So if you want to, get to 3-star, if you have all 3 of them on your, your left leg, you're only going to be a 1-star if they all become a diamond. So definitely keep that in mind as well when you're placing people. It's very important that you properly place them. And obviously you want to grow your volume because, you want to make money that way too. So I would put, maybe 2 on one side and 1 on the other. So you can kind of set yourself up for both, the volume and the rank. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her
thank
team
you.
is pretty even. I feel like she's got 2 workers on each side already.
Okay, good.
So that's something to still think about.
Yeah, so definitely put 2 on, maybe 2 on the weak leg and then 1 on the strong leg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. I really have no idea what you guys want to talk about. So who wants to ask a question?
I just have something to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I really feel strongly about you guys listening to the national wake-up calls and then plugging into these team calls because I know from the very beginning I used these calls as my personal development, which you're probably not supposed to, but I feel like once I listen to a national wake-up call, once I listen to a TKO team call every Monday night, I get like re-energized and you learn from it. And you also it keeps you engaged in this business. And once you stop listening to calls, once you stop checking into groups, then that means that you're disconnecting from your team, and you're just gonna fall off and go away. So it's really important to keep yourselves actively listening to calls and actively checking into coach pages once a day or a couple times a week.
And, I know notifications can go crazy. So you can turn them off for your groups and just make sure you go in there a couple times a day and scroll through and make sure you're not missing anything. Because there's so many times that I post things and I even tag people and they're still not even getting read. And, it takes a lot to sit there and tag a bunch of people. So just make sure you scroll through, all your groups that are important so you're not missing anything, especially if someone tags you, because obviously you're getting tagged because we want you to see it. So just try and make sure that you keep up with all those, in your coach groups and your challenge groups and whatnot, so you're not missing any of that. Anybody else have a question or want to say something?
Did you got? Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's that? Kristen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually try and listen to the national wake up calls and stuff like that, but I'd love to follow, top coaches. How did you guys? I always get overwhelmed and then I try to listen to too many people and then I just fall off the map. How did you guys kind of find out who you liked or who you wanted to follow or who you think you should listen to the most or whatever? I
try and listen to, a call that's within our team. I know Rachel listens to others, I think, but I try and listen to Brandy Bott's calls. If Stephanie Chico does one that she posts, I'll listen to hers.
Okay.
Those are usually the only 2 that I really listen to other than the national wake up call. And if Cindy's doing something or, Jen, then I'll listen to those. But I know Taryn listens to a couple.
She usually just YouTube's, or, whatever. But
and I know somebody else.
So overwhelmed with all right, who should I follow? Who should I listen to?
Yeah, definitely just pick someone that you find inspirational or that you want to follow. And I definitely, don't kill yourself trying to listen to 400 calls.
Right.
I think it definitely does help, especially if it's a topic that you think would be helpful to you, like recruiting or something like that. Definitely listen to it. But the national wake up call, even if you can't get on live, you just call the replay and it automatically plays for you. So everybody should definitely be doing that. I will admit I didn't do that my first half of my Beachbody career, but I've been doing it now and it definitely is helpful. So I definitely think you should all do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's if you have an iPhone, and I don't know if it's just iPhone or if it's Androids too, but there's a podcast app. And in that podcast app,
Sorry, I saw Cindy sign on.
The podcast app has a Team Beachbody channel, and all the national wake-up calls are on there. So I actually listen to it, you can have the voice go a little bit faster, so it speeds up. So I listen to it on my way in the morning drive to work and on my way home from work. And then sometimes I'll sit down and like just take notes afterwards. But you can speed up the voice and then fast forward through like the names and whatnot in the beginning. So it's something like it shortens the call.
I just kind of listen to it when I'm sitting at the computer doing my power hour, like when my kids are napping or whatever, or one of them's napping. And I just listen to it while I work in the background. So since my call or my guest speaker had to cancel on me, I texted Cindy and said, help, save me. And she's packing because she's leaving for her honeymoon tomorrow, but she was able to hop on and chat with you all for a few minutes before we end this call. Oh, and there's Mike. Can you hear me, Cindy?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm just going to let Cindy, she's going to just, give everybody a little pep talk and just chat a little bit. And then maybe we can ask some questions.
Yeah, because I really am not very prepared. I was actually at dinner when Jenny was like, help me. And I was like, I don't know. Can I log on from my phone or what? So first, I wanted to say that it was really great to meet some of you guys at the dinner last weekend. I feel like, you guys are kind of like family. And even though it may have been my first time seeing you in person, I felt like, I know you. And that was really great. And I'm hoping that maybe we can try to do something in August. I'm going to try to come back up for a quick trip and kind of hoping that, maybe Jenny will be able to organize something and a few of you will be able to come. I'm just trying to get Jenny's text here. So before I start rambling about things, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask me or anything that you guys kind of want to talk about?
Recruiting?
Yeah, I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have such a hard time with recruiting. Like, I don't know what to say, who to say it to. I don't know. That's like a huge thing for me. I'm horrible at that. So any tips on that? I know Jenny gives great tips, but I never do it.
Well, why not? That's my
I don't know.
Honestly, like once you just do it, it becomes like, not like second nature, but you get that much more comfortable doing it. I didn't do it my first 3 months, and then all of a sudden, then I started doing it, and then that's, obviously when things started to pick up for me, because I said, you know what, screw it. This is a compliment. I'm just going to ask everybody and anybody that is interested, and I'm going to ask them. And believe it or not, a lot of them would say yes.
Yeah, and I kind of do that same thing. I think that you guys are really fortunate because you have Jenny as your leader, and I feel like she's a great recruiter. And there's times I'll say to myself, like, recruiting is not my thing. Like, I don't feel like it's my strength. And, as you guys know, Mike and I talk about my business a lot because he's very business minded and he's got this crazy math brain. And he'll remind me that I kind of sell myself short there because I've gotten myself to Diamond. I've gotten his business center to Diamond. And now I'm working on getting my second business center to Diamond. So I'm not as bad as I think I am. But when I compare myself to others, like you guys may do, it might make me feel like I'm not as good of a recruiter. But I do some of those same things as Jenny. I keep lists. I know a lot of you have been in, multiple groups with me, and you probably think I'm crazy, but I really do live by those lists. They go back as far as when I started coaching with Beachbody, and I keep that list of potential coaches. And my list usually has obviously, good challengers, people that I see putting forth effort in the groups. My list consists of people that I know have a long-term goal. So if I have friends who I know are engaged in getting married, or if I have friends that I know are getting ready to hit like a big birthday, like their big 30 or 40 or 50, birthday, something that I know they're looking forward to and I know is long-term, because, one of the things that we struggle with when we add discounters is how freaking long are they going to be active, right? So I feel like if I know they have a long-term goal, even if they're just signing up originally to get that discount, I know they're going to be with me for a while. I also have on my list, I feel like my face is way up in the screen here. So let me back that up a little. I also have new moms, because I feel like typically most new moms have a little bit of baby weight that they want to lose. So I feel like those are good people. I'm trying to think what else I have on there. People that I see posting about going to the gym or working out or exercise or wanting to lose weight. So I have kind of a variety. I don't just hit one certain market. I also, which is kind of crazy, but I think about that age group where I feel like they may possibly want to stay home. So that's a lot younger than me. That's usually that like 25, 23, 25 up to 30-year-old age group, because I feel like a lot of those moms, I mean, wouldn't we all love to be home with our kids? Or whenever I was younger and my kids weren't out of the house, it would have been really nice to be able to be there with them and to be at home with them and raise them and take them to school every day and drop them off every day. So, I think about that group too when I think about who I'm targeting. And on social media, because I have expanded my network so much, I have a wide age group. So I'm not just honing in on all of those 40-year-olds that went to high school with me. I reach out to friends of friends and on all of that stuff. So my husband, I love him. He just walks in and gave me a note. I tell you, one day I'll try to get him on a Zoom so that he can talk about all of that stuff you guys love, which are like the numbers and the crazy volume and all of that stuff. I swear he knows it like the back of his hand, but he came and brought me a note and I love him, but he wanted me to make sure that,
What does it say?
Oh, you couldn't see it?
No.
That I talk about how much time you're spending on things. And I think you all know that commission is a part of our business. And when you have a lot of sales, and I'm going to use actually Campos as an example. Well, she's probably making a lot of money in sales, right? But I can promise you that something that I have been told the entire time that I've been a coach and something that I have witnessed is 98% of your check will end up being team cycle bonuses. So that doesn't mean that we're not selling, because selling is really why we're doing this, because we want to help people on their weight loss journeys and we want to help people succeed and things like that. But one of the things that he kind of, Mike, when I say he, talked to me about when I felt like I was spinning my wheels some in the business was really about allocating the right amount of time to each part of the business. And I personally spend at least 70% of my time recruiting coaches and then 30% on the other stuff. Why? Because most of our check is team cycle bonuses. I can tell you that tomorrow I will have a large check, a really big check. And the percentage of sales with that is going to be this big. So growing your team, helping your team grow their teams, creating strong leaders is crucial. So I will thank him when we get off the phone for reminding me to bring up the percentages. But really spending most of your time on what is going to help your business grow and be successful really is recruiting, because it's all about your team and your team's team and that volume. So before I go on any further about recruiting, I kind of talked a little bit about, people I target, and that can look different for everyone. You guys are a lot younger than me, so you probably even have other groups, mommy groups, things like that you target. We talked about, how to target different people, the percentage of your check that really ends up being because of your team, and then making sure that you're spending the right amount of time on the right amount of things. Do you guys have any questions about those things? I'm putting someone to sleep over there. I saw them yawning. Who was that? So, any questions about those things or why I suggest spending more time on recruiting?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yep.
Loud and clear.
So after you ask someone one time and they say that they're either too busy or just not right now, how often or when do you follow up again?
Okay, so it kind of varies, because for me, when I am interested in a person, I'm interested in the person, not just getting them to buy something for me and not just having them coach for me. So I might follow up with them in a few weeks, but it isn't always about Beachbody and about coaching. For me, I feel like building a relationship beyond Beachbody is very, very important. So when might I approach the coaching part again? Maybe when I'm going to be adding people into a coaching group, or maybe if I'm going to host a what is coaching call or something like that. But for me, I check in with them on other things and life in general, not just Beachbody. Because I think you guys will all know, because like I genuinely care about all of you. And like I said, when I met some of you guys at dinner, I feel like you're a part of my family, and we all become very good friends, I hope. And there's so much more to that relationship than just Beachbody. So I don't know if that really answered your question, but I definitely think when you're talking to people about Beachbody, you need to be a person and you need to be relatable too.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
So Kim just texted me really quick. For some reason she doesn't have volume, but she wanted to know if either you or I would be willing to kind of share what you've made in like the last month, like each week with your Team Cycle bonus.
Okay, so I never mind sharing that. I will be honest and tell you that the screen I'm looking at, I don't see where to share it.
There
So-
should be a share button. I have the share screen button. I can share mine, but it's not as good as yours.
But you know what? I tell you what I'll do, you guys, because I really don't mind sharing that information with you, is I will screenshot it, and I'll do that tomorrow, because I don't know if you guys have looked at volume lately, but holy freaking moly, it's amazing. So I will wait until tomorrow when I get my check tomorrow so that one's included, and I will definitely take a snapshot so you can see what that looks like, and I will break it down even so you guys can see what percentage of that was, cycle bonus, all of that good stuff. So I don't mind sharing, but maybe Jenny can screen share real quick now.
I just gotta, I'm gonna log in on, because I have two different computers going right now, but I will tell you that I'll be getting my biggest cycling check tomorrow. So volume right now is definitely insane, but let me pull it up. Cindy, do you want
to? While you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit. So hopefully you guys kind of understand how cycle bonuses work, and basically you need 100 volume points on one leg and 200 volume points on the other leg for it to be able to cause a cycle. So I don't know, everyone's business is a little different. Most people usually have a strong one leg that's a little stronger than the other. But my goal in my business will always be to have my strong leg be twice as strong as my weak leg, so that I can fully cycle, because I want to make money. That's been my goal all along the way. And I can promise you that rank doesn't always define you. Your elite status doesn't define you. And now we even have this leadership ladder thing that I was like, oh no, one more thing that's going to make people feel like maybe they're not doing as great as they could or should be doing. But you can work your business so that you can fully take advantage of those cycles. And it gets a little bit hard for me to like extend out to everyone, like, oh, I'll look at your stuff and kind of give you an idea of what I do in my business and what it looks like for you. But I don't mind answering some questions on volume if you guys want to, send me something specific that you might have.
She's the volume guru. I would definitely take her up on this. She knows what she's doing very well. All right. So Kim, did you want to see my commission or my? I wish you could answer me. All right. I'm going to, I'll show you the volume first, then I'll go from there. All right. Where'd it go?
Holy shit.
I'm swearing. All right. How do I do this? Hold on. Ooh, can you guys see anything? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my volume page. So if you guys can see it, you can see my left volume and then right volume. So as you can see, this week is my highest. I'm going to scroll down to show you, where, the progress. So I'll start at the bottom real quick. So I started in my first, I think I signed up on I forget, 15 maybe. So if you can see at the bottom, you can see there's no volume until about March is when Rachel decided to join my team. And then as you can see, I started to cycle, and it started to grow a little bit. And then it really started to kind of pick up a little bit more, in the summertime. And then we'll go up. And then come January of this year, it really started to skyrocket. And it's just, since then, it's, as you can see, it's just gone up. You guys have any questions on any of that? Ooh. Meetings over in 10 minutes, just an FYI.
And one thing that I can add really quickly about how you see Jenny's volume kind of jump, that isn't just Jenny and her sales. That's that's Jenny and any of Jenny's coaches that she's added, anyone on Jenny's side, and all of those coaches that get added, they all add to that volume. So it doesn't even have to be a coach that Jenny has signed or anyone on Jenny's side. It can totally be a random person. That's one really cool thing, is really we all end up helping each other, and that equals volume, which then you see, kind of growing. So as all of the teams are growing, we get to grow with them.
So let me just go back a little bit too. So I started in January 2014, and I quit my full-time job in June of 2014, not because I was cycling a whole lot. Let me go to June. I was probably cycling a couple $100, but I was basically relying on my sales at that point. So, when I quit my job, I knew that I had to keep growing and, adding to my team so I could make that money in the cycling versus having to just rely on sales. So that's, when things, I started to pick up my recruiting game. And as you can see, here we are today at my highest.
Can you hear me? It's Melissa.
Hi.
Oh, hi. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly.
Sure.
I can't be. I got a check for $22,000 this week, or am I completely reading that wrong?
Yeah, no. So, Cindy, you want to explain? Cindy.
I'm sorry.
So basically, go ahead, Cindy. You'll be better at it than I will.
So it'll be helpful when you show her the checks, but that is just what you're just seeing there is just volume. So she's got a strong leg and actually her legs are pretty equal. So her weak leg really isn't very weak, but her left leg, as you see that volume, there's a little bit higher than the one on her right leg. That's accumulated volume from her entire team. And actually any coach that's been placed under her, all the coaches that are placed under you aren't all even necessarily associated with your team in general, which is an amazing thing, because when people get placed under you, their volume helps you. So when you look at the genealogy tree and you see some funky names you've never heard of, you're just like, yay, cool. That just means their volume is helping you. So that is just volume she accumulates, which allows her to cycle her team cycle bonuses.
Okay.
So
she needs to go to the commission so they can see a little bit more, so she can understand it a little bit more. So basically, Melissa, every product has volume attached to it. So if you sell a challenge, 21 Day Fix challenge pack, that's 100 PV. So every person that's placed under you, and that when they sell something, you get that volume. So if they're on the left leg, it goes to the left leg. If you're on the right leg, it goes to the right leg. It took me a long time to figure out this leg thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let me go to the commission so you can kind of see what these numbers mean. So obviously this week's commission won't be there because we don't get paid yet. So, you can see the last couple of weeks.
So real quick, while Jenny's pulling that up, I think Jenny announced today that she now has a total of 500 coaches in her downline, right? So you see what her volume looks like. Just to give you guys an idea of how things grow and how it progresses. I have like 1,800 coaches under me where their volume is all helping me. So my volume is substantially higher. Why? Because I have a lot more coaches under me helping my volume. So as our teams grow, we grow. And so that's kind of why it looks a little bit different. And I just want you to kind of understand why that growing teams is so important, because as your teams grow, the total of coaches in your downline grows. And there's a pretty significant difference, right, between the number of coaches in Jenny's downline and the number of coaches in my downline.
All right, so we only have about 5 minutes left, so I just want to kind of show you where I started and where I'm at now. So the very bottom is where I started. These are my checks. Pretty much, I don't think any of these have any cycling until about March. So I'm going to click on one of these. I'm going to go into April, and you can see the breakdown. So you can see the breakdown. I had about $300 in retail commission, and team bonus was $90.
Start good. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that was in April. So I'm going to skip ahead till I left my job in June, so you can kind of see where I was then. So let's go to this one. So as you can see, I relied on my commission heavily. So I had about 600 in commission and only 162 in the team bonus. So this was June. Each month, as I was growing my team and my team was growing their team, my team cycle bonus would go up. So that was in June. So let's go to August, the end of August. So this one, the last one was about 160. So this one, in August I was starting to cycle about 300 plus. And my commission, as you can see, in August was not a fun month. Not a fun month. So we'll skip ahead a few. August. By the end of December, let's go to December. You know what? Sorry. Let's go to August. Let's go to October real quick. What month is that? 10?
Yep.
So October, I was still hovering around 300.
So real quick, while Jenny's clicking on the next one, mine looks quite because I don't hit as high of a success club point as Jenny. My sales are not, as high. So for me, when you look at mine, and like I said, I've got 1,800 people in my downline. You can click on your next one, Jenny, so it's up. I have, like I said, more coaches than my downline or whatever. Mine is way different than Jenny's, meaning, like I said, 95 or more percentage of that is strictly my cycle bonus and my team matching bonus. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a success at this point in the game. I'm a success club fiver.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay, so shout that out there. Look at that team bonus, $700.
This was in what, February? I think it was the end of February. So as you can see, I went from 300 to 400, cycling $400 extra from, just from October till February.
And is that because you signed on more coaches?
Yep. So basically from, I signed on, my team kind of started to blow up around October. And I started adding coaches, and then my coaches started growing their own team as well. So all that extra volume from, not just me adding coaches, but from everybody growing. So this was February. Let's go to April. What'd you say, Cindy? Were you going to say something? Or Melissa?
Oh, no. I was just going to say that I want to make sure they understand that it is because you are growing your team and your team is growing your team and all of that. But at the same time, coaches above Jenny are helping Jenny and helping you guys too. It doesn't just stop with Jenny and her teams. Everybody up there, as they add coaches, they have to go down underneath if there aren't, spots being held for them. So even coaches that are not associated with my team or Jenny's team or Jen's team, even as far up as you can go, those coaches get placed under you and they help that volume.
All right, so this was April. So about 340 in commission and 1,000 just in the team volume alone.
That's awesome.
So I've been hovering around, 1,000 to I think 1,300 alone and just in the team bonus. Let me see what last week was. So yeah, last week was about just under 1,200 in team cycling. So it's definitely, I mean, from this time last year, what month are we in? I was probably cycling $200-300 till today. So a year makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and as you guys are adding coaches, if you have questions about placement and where you should put them, you have to think about your goals. So are your goals ranking advancing rank? Are your goals to make money? And that will help you decide where you should be placing these people. And always feel free to reach out to Jenny or your upline, because I think, Jenny, you have your whole team on here. So reach out to your upline and say, hey, I'm going to add a coach. Where do you think I should put them? This is what my goal is. This is what my volume looks like. And, make sure you're building your business to suit you.
We have 30 seconds. So hopefully this was a little bit helpful. Sorry for the last minute switch. If you guys have any questions after this, you can just shoot them to me and I'll answer them or send them to Cindy if they're for Cindy. Thank you all so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Cindy, for jumping on last minute.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Have a fun honeymoon.
Oh yeah, enjoy your honeymoon. She's leaving for her honeymoon tomorrow.